Hello, John Talley here with boats.net. Today we're doing a really simple but fun project on the stern of the Talley Ho IV. I went to replace the lettering as it was starting to get cracked and a little bit faded, and it turns out the new letters and numbers that I've chosen, they don't exactly match up with what was on the boat before. So we need to go back and resurface, resand the teak plate that they're attached to and then re-oil it. Not that tough to do, but it's going to be really interesting to see how it turns out. Now what I'm going to be using is a teak oil from Star Brite. Now Star Brite also makes a cleaner and then a brightener, but there's such a big difference, as I'll show you, of the consistency of the board, that we need to go ahead and sand it back to raw wood and then get it re-oiled. Now if you'd like to watch that happen, let's step over to the table and we'll dive into this. As you can see, it looks like the letters are still attached to the nameplate, but that is just the shadow image of it being covered up for that many years out in the sun. And the new letters don't exactly line up. So what we need to do is go in and sand all this down and then get it re-oiled. Now what I'm using is just a regular 80 grit sandpaper on an orbital sander. Time-consuming process, but the payoff is going to be worth it. There's a couple of areas where there's a couple of indentions from the swim ladder digging into the plate after all these years. I think I'm just going to leave that. I mean, I might be able to get a piece of sandpaper in there and just do it with my hands, but that swim ladder is going to end up in the same place anyway. So what I'm going to do next is clean up everything since I've made such a dust storm, and then we'll start applying some oil to this, then get those letters attached. It's really going to look good when we're done. What we're using is just a regular oil-based paint or stain brush, and we're just going to lightly put it on, working in the same direction as the grain. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, then we'll wipe off the excess, and at that point we'll determine if we want to go back with a second coat or not. A little bit goes a long way. You just want to make sure that you get it as even as you can. And the real trick is, so you don't have to go back and resand, don't make the mistake I did and let it weather too much. Just have this be part of your regular maintenance. Depending on how often or how long your boat stays outside, you may need to do it more than once a year. But if you keep it oiled, that'll reduce the chance that you have to go back and resand it or use the cleaner and brightener system to get it back to this condition. Take your time and make sure you didn't miss any areas, because they're going to jump out at you, especially on the first coat. Tell me that isn't going to look good when we're finished. Oh yeah. So what we'll do at this point is let it sit for a while. I'm going to go clean out this brush so I can reuse it, and then we're going to come back with a lint-free cloth and just wipe off the excess. At that point, we're going to let it dry overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow and repeat the same process. We're going to come back, put on another coat, wipe it down, let that dry. Now, I'm pretty much done as far as the restoration of the wood goes. Now I just need to reattach the lettering, then get it back on the boat. And what a difference this stuff can make. It's amazing. Complete transformation. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this little project. It was fairly labor intensive, but the final product, I think it was worth the effort. Well listen, if you need any parts or anything else for your boat, why don't you come see us at boats.net and we can get you taken care of. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below and I'll do my best to answer them. And hey, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you can keep up with whatever I'm working on next. Listen, we just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at boats.net, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.